Do you want to get more clients by doing marketing audits? I'm going to walk through on this audio program the steps I take when I go through kind of an analysis of a potential client. Now, I'm not going to do a screenshot or a screen capture and walk you through it step by step with the particular one I'm working with, because it's a client that I'm looking at, and ultimately I don't necessarily have their permission to say some of the things that I'm going to be saying. So if we disconnect the company with the process, you can learn from the process and see how you might approach bringing on a new client. So I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips, and we're going to talk specifically about either onboarding or just kind of understanding the process when it comes to a marketing audit. This particular company has a catalog, and it has a nationwide stores. Now, it doesn't matter if this is a local business with 3 stores or a national business with 7 stores or 700 stores. The process is the same. The first thing I checked was whether they were on the latest Google Analytics. Like, what analytics package are they using? And by the way, I'll keep this as evergreen as possible. It doesn't matter what package they're using, whether it's Adobe Experience or Google Analytics. If they do not have some kind of analytics package installed on their website, then it's kind of a red flag, because it means they're probably not measuring. And you've got to make sure they're measuring. So the pitch now becomes, rather than, hey, we're going to audit your marketing, we're going to help you increase conversions, we're going to help you increase sales, we're going to improve the metrics, it becomes, we're going to help you get the basics done. So this particular company has Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager. They're using the Facebook pixels. Now, they're not using the pixels efficiently, so I made a little note. A really good pixel should be on target pages, not on main pages. So you send somebody from Facebook and you're dropping them off on a product page, and we'll talk a little bit about that here shortly, how that's not such a good idea. But you want the pixel on the product page, not on your home page, because people who visit your home page aren't necessarily interested in what you have to offer, but people who go to a product page, even with some curiosity, tend to be a better target. So if we're doing that same audience matching, we want to look at the pixel placement. And that means you got to play shopper. You got to play buyer. Do they have a pixel on the confirmation page? So you opt into their mailing list, look at their confirmation page. Is there a pixel on the confirmation page? Because someone who opts in is more valuable than somebody who just drops in and visits a website. So we're looking at those things. Now, I noticed they've got Google Analytics. They've got GA4. They've got Google Tag Manager. They've got pixels for Facebook, but they don't have pixels for other channels. Turns out this company's primarily using Facebook as a marketing channel. But remember what we've talked about before, anything you learn about a customer in one channel can be tested in other channels. It doesn't mean the same thing, but for this particular company, it looks like Facebook and Pinterest and now it's a merchandising company, so there's that product visual. Now, speaking of product visual, and I know a lot of you folks are copywriters, but the visual matters. All of their images are situational product images, but there's no text on the image. So you don't know whether it's their company or some other company. They don't have maybe pop-outs or metadata on the picture. So those would be areas of improvement. So you're going to end up looking through the checklist of things that are basics and must be there, and you're going to start making a list of areas of improvement. And then you're going to have specific examples of the areas of improvement. Now, if you go to their Facebook page, and by the way, if you're in front of a computer, you can follow along. Pick any company, pick Home Depot, pick Lowe's, somebody like that, follow along. And you'll go down to their Facebook page and start looking for integration. Now, I know you're a copywriter and you don't think about the technical side, but where are they going to put those words? If you write the very best copy in the world and they put it on the back of a business card and never hand it out, then it's no value. But that same space of copy could be a great pay-per-click campaign and otherwise a means of driving customers into their business. Now, how do I know they're using all these platforms or even what their back end is I went on LinkedIn and I looked up the company, and then I looked for the web manager. I looked for the different individual sales and marketing vice president. I looked for their certifications. They have a lot of HubSpot and a lot of sales Salesforce backend on what they're doing. And then I, of course, looked at their job listings, and they want you to have experience with Salesforce. So it's highly likely their back end is Salesforce. Their front end is the website and the catalogs. They have physical retail locations. So geo tagging is important, your ability to target specific markets. Also, your segmentation for markets on the back end. They look like they're doing a lot of internet marketing or such. They have 81,000 followers on their Facebook page, which is really good. That's going to help with audience matching. But when I click their ads, while they are using Google UTM Source and Medium, they're not using it very well. So as a copywriter, as a marketer, you want to make sure that they can track and measure and that they're doing it well, which means lead and sales attribution tied back to campaigns. Okay, so you want to be marketing by campaigns. You don't want companies just slinging stuff up on websites. So if they don't have the Google Analytics or some kind of analytics, then you need to get that straight. The next layer is if they're not using it well, then you need to get that straight. And then finally, if everything is set up correctly, at least from what you can see on the back end, then you're going to start looking at how can you help them improve content. So I go to the main page. I go down to page transparency, which is something that Facebook has. As I'm going there, I see that they have really good integration of the shop. So you can start a sales transaction on Facebook itself. And then we go to the page transparency to look at the types of ads that they've got. You're going to see that they do advertising, and then I can click down here to go to ad library. When I open up their ad library, I see a lot of product pictures. First off, I see them sponsoring stuff that is like show and tell stuff. It's not really like an event. It's not an experience. It's not a story. So they basically say, here is a sponsored ad. Please join us at our new location. Now, unless that's targeted for a specific geographic region, which it doesn't seem to be, because there's two ads in this set. So I click in to see ad details. And if you'd like me to do this, by the way, with a company that I don't have any restrictions on, I'd be more than happy to go in and walk you through this. But what I see here is, please join our new location. And then there's some text about the location and the dates. But I do not see that there's text in here that's targeting a specific individual, like a specific community. Now, this location's in Dallas, Texas, so I kind of expected a little bit more context because they do have an image of a product here, and they have a little bit of text over top of it, but the image itself doesn't tell me the physical. It says such and such village celebrates spring. It doesn't have the city and the state. Because what if an out-of-state person is looking at it and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to be in Dallas, Texas, and I just might want to stop by and check out this particular product. You see what I'm coming from here? Now we know they can test. We know they have some idea that testing goes on. We have areas of improvement there. Now we're looking at the actual content itself. We're looking at the copy. And so this particular ad, when you look at where it goes and what it does, because by the way, if you click the ad, it will take you to the store location that they're telling you about. Now they have a nice store landing page, except I see this giant block of text under the store. It's not really laid out well for the reader. I see a map and stuff up top, so it looks good. However, they have an offer, which is a free service, and it's hidden down at the bottom of the page. So I would take a little note about that. So they've got an ad. The ad has got basic tracking. Actually, no, this one has no UTM code tracking at all. So I need to make a note of that because previous ads did have UTM tracking. This one has none. So they must either be not running very many ads, or they don't clearly know which ad is contributing to the landing. the landing page doesn't have any way to opt in or to say, hey, I'm interested. See, so if you're going to announce a new store opening, you're better off announcing an event and really making it an event and getting people to say that they're interested in visiting or to pass it and share it along. But again, this one has got some gaps on it. Now, most of their ads that are product oriented are pictures of the product. And like I said earlier, there's no text on it. I do find one here that says save 25% off. That's the text that's over top of it. But that kind of ad is not, it's good. It's okay. It might work if you do enough of them. But I'm not about if you spend enough money, maybe something will happen. I want to know for every dollar I spend on this platform and on this specific campaign, on this specific creative, how much money did I make? And so if you're offering a product and you have a picture of the product on the ad in a situational environment, which is good. That's better than just the picture of the product. So you want to telegraph usage and context. They got some tracking. They're doing multiple ads and A/B split type ads, but they're not tracking well enough. Both ads have the same source and medium. So this source says Facebook, and this medium says organic. Now, I know enough about UTM codes. It probably should be facebook.com, or the source should be a specific ad code that in your ad tracking system, which would be Salesforce in their case, you want to basically, or your content library, you want to basically identify that source matches a specific creative, and that creative was put on the medium Facebook. It's not organic. This is a pay-per-click ad I clicked, by the way, and they set their source and their medium Facebook and organic. It's pay-per-click, not organic. So if their source was a content code or some kind of source as in tied to the creative, and their medium was Facebook because it's Facebook advertising, then they also want to include the UTM campaign so we know what campaign effort we had, because we could have a campaign in spring and then a campaign in the fall using all the same text in the creatives, and all we've changed is the images, because you can have a 25% off sale in spring or you can have a 25% off sale in fall. Now, personally, all their ads tend to be dollars off. I think that's horrible. That's, if you have to discount your product to sell it, you haven't sold the value of the product. So there's an opportunity there for your copy. Now, if I drill down a little deeper, I see the product is in a situational environment. So these are home decor products and furniture. So I see the furniture in the house, but I don't have any meta context that whether they're advertising a table or a couch. And the promoted ad is spring your home into style. Take 25% off furniture plus rugs and up to 25% off decor. That is not an ad. That is a begging for customers. So a better ad would is the situational experience that the buyer will have when they own this furniture. So now we're getting into the copy. So you've got ideas on the technical parts. You got ideas on the type of work that they're doing. You got an understanding of their back-end system. If they have Salesforce, they could do email marketing. And, of course, their website is doing tracking, so we can track going to the catalog. So what we've got here now is we've got these images that don't say anything. Sure, it's better to see the couch and the table in a living room. Now, it looks like a little higher-end living room, but that's fine because it's higher-end furniture. It's quality furniture. But what we've got to do here is we've got to get some text on that picture so that someone else doesn't steal it. Now, I like at a minimum just a bottom banner that has the web address. Because if they get the image, maybe the image got shared on the Pinterest, so it was posted on Facebook. Now it's shared on the Pinterest, or it's shared on somebody's page. You want to be able to track back to your organization. Now that could be a short link on the bottom, that could be a branded personal URL, so you could have such and such a furniturecompany.com/ and then a couple digits. But whatever it is, it's a coded link because you want to know that somebody hand typed that thing in off of seeing a picture. And that's extremely helpful. The ad itself, rather than saying spring into home, why not tell the story of what it will be like to entertain guests And or what would it be like to sit around in this luxurious furniture and watch the game? What would it be like to have that peace and comfort of knowing that you've made an investment in quality furniture? See, that picture's got to be more than just a picture. It's got to tell a story. And then you're going to wrap the text around that picture to continue the story. Now when they click on the link, rather than going to the product page, because I clicked on the link and it has the UTM codes and everything, it goes to a product page that basically has, now this is a little bit better Content Hub, but it's talking about the discount. It's talking about the special financing. It's basically, this is not a entry level furniture store, but it's acting like one. And so my harsh comments, by the way, is another reason I'm not disclosing who these people are. We're not doing a screen capture. But do you see where I'm coming from here? They have a join the family and keep in touch email opt-in, but it's not prominent. They could have put the 25% off discount behind the email opt-in to reward the prospect for getting more information about this type of design, because the pictures are beautiful. Don't get me wrong here. The pictures are beautiful, but they don't help the customer see themselves owning this product because they are a little bit too nice. And so we want to have a landing page that's a content hub about interior design, concepts and ideas, how this organization is going to help you have a beautiful home. That beautiful home is going to mean you get to entertain. You're going to impress your relatives. You're going to impress your neighbors. You're going to fit into the neighborhood. See all those emotional elements. And then instead of saying how long the company's been in business, which this company's been in business for a long time, those are reinforcing factors to the insights the company baked into their product. So they are stressing how the products are made for the customer, so the customer can customize. I don't see any of that until I scroll way down on the bottom of the page. They mentioned that they have multiple locations. Well, one of the questions people are going to have buying furniture online is getting that furniture delivered to their home, or are they going to have to go pick it up at the store? And if it's complex furniture, like a bed or a larger piece of furniture, like a sectional, is it going to come and have to be assembled at home? What's the preparation? So I would have preferred to see a showcase of the product in the context of the customer's experience, and then the customer jumps to the website. We continue that story, get them to opt in for tips and tricks, maybe a guide. In the case when you have physical stores, you want to mail product to them or mail a brochure to them or something so that you can capture that email address or that physical address. Because they might have questions about delivery. And so you could use a little bit of back-end magic and say, oh, well, you're in Dallas, Texas. We just opened a new store in Dallas, Texas. So their location triggers an invite to visit the store that's close to them, not sending them to a location page where they got to figure it out themselves. But do you see where I'm coming from here? So if the basics are not there, you could write the best copy in the world, and they're not going to know who to give it to. I can't see their segmentation elements, but I do know from going to the ad library on Facebook, I have an idea of what they're doing, and then I can see that they're not tracking the details of the click as well as they should. But again, the Facebook tracking ID is going through like it's supposed to, and it looks like there's something triggering on their website. And some of the tools that we use for this are available with these different platforms, and you can look at other people's websites with them. But do you see where we're going here? We're going through and we're just doing an analysis of their site. Now they can pay us to do a deep dive, and we could go in the back end and see what kind of analytics they're getting, whether they can even track conversion or they can track the opt-in. But that's just the setup for this. We're going to end up with a list of things they can improve, but the next step is not sending them the list of things they can improve. You got to find the decision maker. So we got to find out who the decision maker is. If they've got a job list that's similar to your category of what you provide, then you can use that. But otherwise, you got to find out who the decision maker is, and then you got to find out if they're going to be a good fit. Because it is possible that the reason this stuff is set up wrong, and the reason they have product images rather than sales stories, maybe they don't know about Gary Halbert's Star Story solution, where the story entices the individual who wants to become a star, gains a solution to become a star by purchasing the product. So maybe a better ad for some of these would be a compare and contrast. A ratty old sofa that's in the same category as their product, but right next to it is the upgrade. This particular company does do a refinishing. So if you own one of their old products, you can actually get it refinished. So you could show a 100-year-old product and then show what it looks like refinished. And now you're telling the story of grandma's easy chair or grandma's couch still being in great condition, yet refreshed with upholstery that modernizes the look. And the bones are still good, but the fabric or the leather has had a little bit of wear. We can help you with that. Those types of campaigns may not be something they want to talk about. And so we have to figure out who the decision maker is. We got to figure out whether or not they're interested in any solutions. What are the challenges that they face? They may have bigger challenges than what you're seeing online. And then what have they tried in the past that hasn't worked? Do they even know what direct response copy is? Do they understand the concept of tracking cost per lead? Do they understand the concept of determining from a catalog geographic segments? I know when we were at Lilly and Vernon, there were geographic segments where you could send a catalog and make money. In other areas, you could send a catalog and you might as well, you're just losing money because the customers didn't buy. So in Lilly and Vernon, it was excluding affluent neighborhoods. This particular furniture company probably wants to exclude low-income neighborhoods. So there's also, because they have physical locations, they may want to target more heavily around the physical location, whatever the driving distance is to the location, favoring affluent neighborhoods, which may lead them to doing an every door direct mail. So great. The web is great, but we do this every door direct mail. Those who respond to the direct mail via a web URL are now tagged so we can have that same audience match. But the people who just drive into the store and buy stuff, they turn in the every door direct mail card as a coupon, and they get an extra free gift. Now, sometimes there's if you're doing discounts and they turn in the coupon to get a discount, then you're now no different than, the discount furniture store. But ultimately, if they hand in the coupon and get a free gift that accessorizes the environment in which that couch will live, and they get that gift just for showing up, now you can use the card, use a little QR code on the card, and get that tracking registered. So you're going to flag them at sales. You're going to load them up in Salesforce. You're going to flag them as coming in off of a certain campaign. And now you can start measuring your back end. And now you start to have a better understanding of what types of customers come in to buy, what types of customers come in to browse, what type of customers just showed up because we're having a grand opening and we're feeding them food. Do you see where I'm coming from here? So please listen to this again and pick a company to walk through and just look at how things work. This website has free, real reviews from customers, and I'm all the way down at the bottom of the. Oh my gosh, this page seems to go on forever, and these reviews are just hidden. So so what you know about sales and marketing can help them get that credibility up higher, to help them get that value to the specific demographic up higher. In this case, these folks sell to affluent families. They sell furniture that'll last a lifetime, made for you, even with custom designs, and they're dropping somebody off on a 25% off sale. Now again, what companies make this mistake that you can help? Think about it. There's a lot of these mistakes going on for all different size companies. Who can you help? Now, if I was prospecting this company, I would do a recorded video specific to what we just talked about here, and I would send it to the hiring manager. But I would only do that after we determine they have a challenge. They could be perfectly happy with what they've got. I haven't built up the pain yet. I haven't built up the desire yet to come in and make an offer, other than, if they want to piecemeal stuff. But that's not the type of business that you should be in. So again, you could just write some copy, or you could be a merchandiser for the organization and help them increase sales. You could write an email series, a lot of stuff talking about writing emails, make big money in copywriting by writing emails, or you can help them generate more leads and turn leads into sales, with that story. Somebody buying furniture wants to know, is the furniture going to fit in my house? Is it the right design? Is it going to be durable? Is it going to be worth the investment? Is it going to be something that fits my aesthetic? Is it going to be something that I can use? Or is it going to sit in the front room and I'm going to be afraid to have people sit on it? You know, it looks great, but it's not durable. There's all these things that are not being addressed in these campaigns, and therefore you're getting somebody who wants 25% off, or who wants to, actually one thing that's confusing about this site is that you'll see a 25%, you'll go to a 25% off landing page, and then on the top of the screen there's a luxurious bedding 20%. It's like they got this banner thing going through all the savings. So, might as well buy your furniture at Kmart or Best or a little rental place down the street, because they're merchandising high quality product and accessories, by the way, which is very smart. But there's a $59 pillow cover, an $849 wall hanging. Don't throw the 20% off under it. The right customer will buy that at a good price. I know it's a quality product. If it connects to the story that they have in their mind about who they are as a person, what is it they want as far as the aesthetics around their home, then that's the focus. Now, free shipping is great, because that's going to be a big concern with a big piece of furniture. Especially they sell wall clocks and mirrors and other home decor items. But again, you don't lead with the discount. If you are, make sure your tracking's right so you can determine whether or not that's converting and making profitable customers. Because again, I'm not looking at the upsells. I'm not buying a $8,000 couch in order to look at the upsells. Of course, you can look at their checkout pages, or if the customer has a smaller ticket product, you could actually buy something. But ultimately, folks, that's what you need to do. It probably took me an hour to get all this staged up, but I had in my mind that I was going to do this podcast. So you could probably knock one of these out in 15, 20 minutes. If you do a private video, just don't be rude like I am right now. I'm trying to emphasize to you the value of this, but also dramatically demonstrate the value that you have for this type of customer, and the knowledge that you have, the experience that you have, that you need to be finding these people. Okay, they're not going to come find you necessarily, but you go out and find them, spend it 15 minutes to an hour a day, find 2 or 3 prospects every day, reach out to the decision makers, find out what their challenges are, and then introduce them into a quick walkthrough and approach. And then, depending on what level they're at, you can introduce them to the solutions or the value of analytics. You can introduce them to the integration, or you can introduce them to the value add back end of copy that sells. I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. I hope this has been interesting to you. If you do want me to go through a live walkthrough or to answer specific questions, be sure to visit me at www.adbriefings.co.uk, where we help you do more than just write words on pages. We help you actually create and keep profitable customers and grow your agency. I'll see you in the next podcast.